This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So today I want to discuss about a very important concept. It's very basic stuff and it is used a lot. So just try to follow along with me. If you have any questions, stop me, ask me 10 times, 100 times, doesn't matter. But this is very, very important for you guys to understand, to be able to go ahead and code in the future. So today we're going to talk about strings and day two. Actually, I'm just going to call it day two today because this is an important thing. No, today's day four, right? String and indices. I'm hoping we might be able to touch the indices today, and tomorrow would be even most important stuff where we'll talk about indexes in detail. So I'm guessing numbers was clear to everybody, right? We spoke about it, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't have to go much in detail about it. I want to jump on with the strings today, like I said. So like we discussed, string can hold only one value, all right, and it is nothing but a sequence, or a sequence is nothing but something in like a character of sequence of characters basically. So for example, this DHIS, it's a sequence of characters like THIS, all of them. So this is a string, or you can say this by first class. This whole thing is a string. So let's go ahead with actually, I'm gonna make a new file, string intro.py. Okay, so first of all, I want to ask, does anybody know the types of comments that we have in Python? Does anybody have any idea about how do we do commenting in any language or in Python? Guys, you have to speak up. I told you, right? I only want one thing, interaction.
Yeah, in Bash, I know that by giving forward slash and star, we can comment
You're saying this?
this and then the comment part and then again star and slash. Or if
Okay,
we want to give one liner comment, then we can use hash.
yes. So this one is, I think, in Linux and some other stuff, whatever you were saying, but not in Python.
Yeah.
But you said it,
Okay,
Python,
okay.
and like every other language. But I like it, Tushar. Thank you for speaking. And that's what I want. Everybody should talk. At
Yeah.
least you know half the answer, so which is good. And now people learn that the forward slash and star is Linux, not Python. So that's good. So hash, as you said, is the single line comment. So whatever you line here, this won't be run when you run Python. For example, if I run it, nothing would happen because it's a comment. If I remove this, it will give me an error. See, invalid syntax. So anything that's under this is a comment. Now, why you may ask, why do we need this? So the thing is, today you're writing a program for 4 lines, but tomorrow you'll be writing 4,000 lines or 400,000 lines. Then people would be reading your programs also, right? Or your other developers would be using it. So how will they know what you're trying to do? So writing comments is very, very, very important. It's not only a good coding practice, but you should make sure that you write a comment almost every time and try to explain what you're trying to do. If it's a function or whatever you're trying to do, even if you're just doing addition, you should say this is a program for printing the addition of two numbers, for example, even though it's just this, print a plus b. But this is very important, guys. So make sure you write lots of comments in this. There is no syntax or anything like that. Just hash and do whatever you want to do. You can even write some other language like this. Doesn't matter. Okay. So hash is, just
Ankit,
remember hash.
Ankit, yeah, Ankit, this is Tushar. And if we
Yes, sir.
want to give multi-block comment, then
Correct. So I'll be coming on that in a second. But that's
okay,
a
okay,
good question.
okay, no.
Yeah. No, it's a good question. I will talk about it anyways, but that's why I started this because that's also a concept in string. So just give me like 2 minutes and we'll be there. All right. So, but this is in general how you write comments, and like Tushar asked, how do you like if it was a multi-line comment like this? Okay, let me give a nice example. This is a multi. What happened? Something went wrong. is a multi-line comment. I am new to this. Now you want all this to be in comment. So how will you do this? So there are two ways. One, you can do this, put it in front of every line, but this is tedious, especially if you have to do 10 uh, lines or even 20 lines of going this. So for now, let's use this. And once we go more in the class today, I'll show you there's another way, which is very simple, and we'll talk about it. That was all about comments. Let's talk about strings, or even before that, let's talk a little bit about this first and how Python works, or what is the significance of this. I know most of you know this, what it means, but let's go a little bit deep dive. So x equal to 2, if I ask you, you will say, Ankit, this means that 2 is assigned to a variable called x, which is correct. But the point that I'm trying to say is this. So x is a variable here, okay? And 2 is the value that x stores in memory. What is equal to? Does anybody know? So we are dissecting this one by one.
Assignment.
That's correct. That's the right answer. So remember when we started, we were talking about operators. So equal to is an assignment operator. So if you look at this line, like I just dissected it one by one, this is how Python interpreter would read it. So what it will say when it sees the line, so first thing it will see is x. Okay, I have a new variable. I don't have it in my memory, so let's store it as x. Then I have an assignment operator. Okay, that means I'm putting some value to this x. Now till now I don't know what is the value. It could be 2, it could be this also. So that is the beauty of Python, that you can give 2 or you can give a string as well. This is how you define a string in Python or even anywhere. So now when you give the 2, or when the interpreter reaches this part, so now it knows, okay, my x is of type integer, because what value I'm getting, that's an integer value. That's not a string value. In this case, my x is a string. Similarly, in this case, 4.2, my x is a float. So you guys see a pattern. All these are valid, by the way, in Python, but these are non-valid in C or Java or any other object or any other high-level language. The reason is the other languages need you to tell what is the type. So, for example, int x equal to 2, string x equal to Ankit, and float x equal to 4.2. This is one of the syntax in C or C++. But Python lets you do this for free. You don't have to worry about it, and that's one advantage of interpreter-based language. And if it was compiler, you still have to tell them. So this is the biggest advantage of Python. You just go and give any value at any point of time in your program, and that will work. So that's why I wanted to talk about the first line. Now, let's say we had 3 different variables like this. Okay, this is also perfectly fine. You can ask me, Ankit, how do I know that actually, okay, let's take this one first. Let me remove this. That how is Python saving this as float? I know you've given a value, but how is it internally saving it as float and this one as X? You can ask me, how can I prove that to you? It's a very simple thing, and Python gives you a function for that. And we'll see more in detail when we talk about functions. But for now, just imagine function as a piece of code that Python has already written, and we are just passing an argument to it, and it is responding back with something. So I'm just going to give X here. So what I'm trying to do is, okay, let me remove the print first so that you guys don't get confused. Type is the function which is inbuilt in Python, just like we have print, and X is what we have defined. So we are passing this X to this function, and we are expecting some value in return. That is what a function do. You send something and you expect something in return. So now when you're expecting something, either you can print it directly or you can store it in another variable. So I'm choosing to print it here. Let's see what is the output I get. You see, what was the output? Class integer. Now, I know you might be feeling, what is this? Or some people might be understanding who have basic idea, but let's see. Type of y. Let's run this. So you guys know y is what? It's float. So you see, it gives me class float and class int for x. So basically, type function is an inbuilt function in Python, which tells you what is the way Python is storing the variable as. So clearly in this case, that is, yes.
I can't able to see properly output.
Are you able to see now in the
Yeah,
bottom
no.
of the screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I can. Fine,
Okay,
thank you.
no problem. So first statement prints class of int, and second one prints class of float. So for now, just ignore class. We'll see more of this later. You might get confused, but concentrate on this part, int and float. So like you see, type of x returned int, which means it has an integer value, which also proves my theory that x equal to 2 internally stored as an integer variable. Similarly, y is equal to 4.2, type of y shows as float because the value is 4.2. So the point that I'm trying to say is in Python, you don't have to worry about the type of the variable, whether it's float, whether it's int, while you are doing your program. You can even change it. So even now, if you change y is equal to just 6, it will override that value. See, again, it is showing int now because first it was 4.2 and then it got overridden by 6. So that is the beauty of Python. You don't have to worry about anything. It automatically takes care of you depending on the value that you have. Okay. And this is where the type function is really handy. So remember that we will use this a lot and I will keep asking you guys about it. Also, what it means is that Python is a dynamically typed language. So you may understand, oh, these are big, heavy words. It's nothing. If you dissect the word again, it's simple English. Dynamic means at the runtime or at any time. Type means this is the type, that y is a type of float, x is a type of int. In language, as you know, is language. So what we are saying is that basically during the runtime, it will tell what is the type of x, what is the type of y, and what is it in this case, integer and float. I removed the other y statement. So let me run it again. Yeah. So that is what it means by, if somebody, this is an interview question, by the way. So if somebody asks you why is Python called a dynamically typed language? This is the answer to that, that it can take any, it can store any type of value without defining the type of the variable, whether it's integer, whether it's float, whether it's complex, whether it's string, whether it's dictionary, whatever it is. Okay. Does anybody have any question on that? Okay, perfect. Now,
Ankit?
yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, here we call it as print for output, right? I mean that
Exactly.
whatever we're giving, it will be getting at output, right?
Yep.
And moreover, in C we can giving us in float like that. But
Yep.
here mention type, right? Means
Yep.
I'm not clear about type.
No, that's what. So in C, you had to give it like int x, but here you don't have to give that integer keyword. Automatically based on the value. So the value is integer here, right? Just concentrate on this line, Sriram, for now. So when Python runs it, it first looks at this, okay? It looks at x, okay? So it tells, okay, itself that I have a variable called x. Then it looks as equal to, so equal to this one. Equal to is a assignment operator. That means it
Yes,
has to
yes.
assign some value to x. Now hold on, listen to me. And then 2. So when it comes to 2, that is the right hand side parameter of equal to assignment, right? So now it knows 2 is an integer type. So then it internally stores x as integer type. That's what I was trying to show you with type x, which it says class integer. You see this in the output? Are you able to see the output now? The one that I'm highlighting? Sriram,
No, I can't able to see.
you can't see this?
No, it should be look like small screen.
How
Sriram,
about,
you can maximize or minimize your screen size from the right
can
side.
anybody else confirm everybody is seeing it?
Yeah,
Or
I'm able to see it, Ankit.
okay. Yeah, so Sriram, I think you have to probably maximize
Yeah,
it or
fine.
something.
Yeah, fine. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is what I'm trying to tell you, that internally this will store it as integer because the value of x is equal to 2. Now in the second statement, y is equal to 4.2, which means it's storing it as float value. So when it comes to this statement, what will be the output? That x class of float, because the value on the right hand side is of what type? Float type, 4.2. Correct? Does it make sense now?
Yeah, I got it.
Perfect. This is important, guys. So we all have to understand this. So, did anybody have a question?
Hello. Yeah,
Yeah, Vijay.
Ankit, all interpreted languages are dynamic in nature.
That is a good question, and I don't know the answer to that. But I don't know, but I do know about Python. We can Google it,
Okay.
and you will know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to give you a wrong answer.
Okay. Thanks.
Sure.
Okay, Ankit, this Ravi.
Yeah, Ravi.
We just like we don't, if we give 4.2, it is float, okay. But
Yeah.
if you don't give any value, like how it take, what is the binary digit or binary it will take?
I didn't get your
It
question. What
stores
did?
in what way? Suppose, like we, it's print type Y, okay. Type Y
Yeah.
means it is detecting as a float, okay. That's
Yep.
okay. But if you don't give type, okay, directly Y,
Yeah. Then it'll just print you the value of y.
directly Y.
Yeah. 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 Hold on. Let me show
Okay,
it.
but I saw like we can sometimes it comes jink value.
No. Let's see. What happened? Why is it so slow today? Okay. Yeah. See 4.2.
Okay,
Are you able to see that? Yeah.
means I hear that it stores in a it stores in a binary format. Suppose if you don't give any value,
If you
I
don't
hear
give
like
any
zero
value
like in
here,
other languages in C or something.
no. If you don't give any value here, then it will be an error. Simple because you're giving an assignment operator. Assignment operator always needs two values, one on the left side, one on the right side. So you're giving the one on the left side, but you're not giving on the right side. So that's why it will error out. What you're talking about, internal storage, that is a completely different concept. You don't have to worry about it. And the reason
Yeah.
is the memory is
Okay.
stored
Okay.
always in
Okay.
binary because the computer always understands ones and zeros, right? So in that sense, your two would first be converted to the
Okay.
binary
Yeah.
equivalent, and that will be stored. And that you're right. And that is with every language, irrespective, Python, C, Java, Scala, whatever language you pick up. But that is how internally it is done. We don't have to worry about it ever. If you start
Okay.
worrying about it, you will never be able to write a code. So, but your understanding is right. Internally, it is
Okay.
stored as binary. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead
Okay.
then,
Okay.
guys.
Because because
Yeah,
I mean it's like Python is different, right? So
it is. So that's what I was telling you the difference, right? The difference here is you don't have to tell whether it's int or float or whatever it is. That is the beauty of Python with respect to others. I haven't come across any other language which lets you do that. And that's why it's called dynamically typed language. That the type of the variable, you don't have to tell it before running. But in other languages, you have to. Like in C, if you were writing this code, it will error out, even at a compile time. Forget about running. All right, so I have a question now for you guys. So now I am saying x equal to 4, x equal to 10, x equal to 15. And I say print x. Can anybody tell me, other than Tarun, sorry, Tushar, I think he knows this, what will be the output here?
15.
15.
15.
Why won't it be 2? Or why won't it be 4 or 10?
At the previous time, which is taking that
Because
value
latest
is
it will take
considered
as
as
a latest.
Okay. So all of you guys are right. So basically what happens is, however many times you give this statement, you're just basically overwriting the value. So in this statement, 4 is overwritten on 2. In this statement, 10 is overwriting 4. And in this system, this statement 15 is writing 10. So basically this will print the last known value. So that's good. I like that everybody of you knew that.
Ankit?
Now
Yeah, someone is said that which one is bigger, that value is considering is correct or wrong, right?
no, that is wrong. So let's see.
Yeah.
So are you saying now the answer will be 10? No, the answer would still be 9.
Yes.
We can try it. See, it has nothing to do with the higher value or the lower value. Always it uses the last known value because it
Yeah.
is overridden by this guy. So
Yeah.
good catch, Sriram. I didn't hear that actually.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. So I have another question for you now. So what will be the output of this statement? Sorry. Can anybody tell me?
13 plus 2.
Sorry, what was you said? 9
It's
plus
13.2.
13.2.
13.2. Who's saying
13.2.
okay,
13 point.
that's correct. So basically, with this thing, you can print directly using an integer value and sorry, the integer value of x is 9 here, and a float value, and that is correct. So you guys were right. Guys, if you're not talking, please go on mute. I'm getting a lot of errors. Thank you. So yes, you guys were right. So x plus y is 13.2 in this case. And that is another thing I wanted to show you, that you can add, sorry, I keep going back to that, add an integer value to a float value. It will automatically convert into float. See, that is another difference, because x was integer here, but y was float. But if you see the output, it is float. So it automatically converted the value. All right. Now you can ask me a question that, Ankit, is there a way we can convert these? Let's say from y, I just wanted to see 4, and let's say x, sorry, where is x? X, I wanted to convert to float. Can we do that? Does anybody know an answer? Can we do that or no?
Yeah, I think
Can
explicit type
repeat the
conversion.
question?
Okay, and so I hear two answers, yes. And how do I do that? Does anybody know that?
Explicit type conversion we can do. I think print, and we need to put like we want to convert it to float, and then the variable name.
So that is correct, and that is indeed called explicit type of conversion. And the way you'll do is, so let's say you wanted to convert x to float, so just give float in front of x, and then you'll see the output change to 9.0. So it added a dot 0, which is the float value. Now, if I wanted just the 4 part, or convert it into x, basically, so same thing, print int of y, and let's see what it prints. It prints only 4 instead of 4.2. So that's good. You can do it this way. So, and this is not just for int float, for everything you can do the same way. It's just I'm showing you these two examples. All right, let's get into strings. So can anybody define me what is a string? Whoever knows here. Just in like one line, simple terms.
A string is a collection of one or more characters.
Yes, that is correct. It's a collection of one or more characters, or it's a sequence of one or more characters. So like I was telling you, this, come on, is a string. So name is a string, name is the value of the variable string, and Ankit is the value in it. Basically, it is a string, a sequence of all these 5 characters. But the most important point is this will not be considered a string if I don't give this. Does anybody know what will be this considered now? If I run it, see, I get an error. Name Ankit is not defined.
Well, assignment, it is expecting this as a variable.
Well, it is a variable, but you were partly right. It is expecting this to be a string variable because it is a sequence of characters. And whenever you have a string variable, this is a syntax that you have to define within single quotes. The point number 1, strings can be defined in 4 ways, all right, in Python. So everything that we talk here is all about Python. I'm not talking about other languages until I explicitly say that. So first is in single quotes. So this is your single quotes. Second way is, and I'm going to come to that in a minute, and also third and fourth. So now I have a requirement, say something like news headline. I'm taking this as a variable. So this is always a variable, guys, on your left. And I'm saying I want to define a long string here. So what do I take? For example, coronavirus cases are on rise. And so now you know, if you want to give a country name or something, you have to give them in the quotes, right? And USA has the highest number. Do you think this will work?
No.
No.
Okay. And why? It's a long string, but that's okay. I'm putting them under single quotes. So let's see what happens. News underscore headline, headlines, no headline. Yeah. So I'm getting an error. See, that's another beauty of the visual code. That's why I wanted you guys to use this. It also gives you an idea of where is the problem. So the problem is it is only considering this much as the string, because this quote it is considering as the last finishing quote of this one. Now this part is hanging. especially the USA is hanging, because then again, this is considered as another string. So how can we fix it? And that's how I want to tell you that there's a second way also to do it, which is in double quotes. So if you just change this line now to double quotes, it will print USA in quotes as well. Let's see the magic. See, USA is printed in single quotes. So that's why you need the double quotes whenever you have something where you want to print the single quote as such. That's when you need the double quotes. But mostly 90, not 90, but 80% of the time programmers are only going to use single quotes. That's an easy way of doing it, like this, until you really need this. So let's say this was something like this, Ankit's class. Again, this will have a problem because we did an apostrophe here. So simple solution, just change it to this. That's it, and it will work. So that is the second way how you define strings in the Python. There's a third way, and this is what I think Tushar asked, also signifies a multi-line comment. So third way is to have triple quotes, triple single quotes, like this. Sorry, I added one more. So anything in between is a multi-line quote. So for example, I'm going to give a new variable multi-comment equal to, well, that could be comment or could be string also. You can do both. It's not really just a only for comment. 3. This is a multi-line comment. This is my second line. This is my third line, something like this, and then just close it. Now, if you print this multi-string, let's see what happens. See, it is printing in multiple lines. Are you guys able to see this? The output here. So that is the third way of defining. And also, like I was saying, I will come back here. This is also a way to give a multi-line comment. So I'm gonna remove this. And what I'm gonna do, just start like this and end it here. See, all this changed. And now this is considered as a multi-line comment. But if you assign it to a variable, like I did, see, like what I did, I just assigned it to a variable, then it becomes a variable. Simple. There's a fourth way as well, and I'll come towards the end of the class because that might confuse you a bit. Has anybody any questions on these three ways, or was it clear? This is important, guys. I'm going to ask you all these things.
Yeah, it's clear again.
Okay, good. I'm going to ask you all these in coming days because all of these things we are going to use. Remember, like I said, the first day, everything that you're learning in few days, you will be applying those. And if these are not clear, you will not be able to grasp those. And if these are clear, believe me, you can do anything in the advanced Python. All right. So I'll come back. Now, nobody asked me a question.
Hello,
that until like,
Ankit?
yeah, go ahead, Sriram.
Yeah, here given as multi, right? Come
What is
down,
it?
come down. Just previously given.
Yeah.
In that, if we give like a single also, it will be considered as multi, right?
Here? No, it won't. See?
No. My
Because
question is that
yeah.
if multi-string is given that uh, 3 times given, right? This is a multi-line comment.
Okay, that's a good question. You're saying this? Is that what you're saying?
No. Before
Then
this is a multi-line comment is there, right?
yeah.
They're given as multi, right? 3 times.
I don't know what you're saying, man. Can you type in the
He
chat?
is saying three time single quote he's saying, I think.
No.
Yeah,
I will
that's what
type.
that was there, right? This is what you're saying, but this was already there.
Yeah, is there correct only?
And
If
Yeah.
like this only, whatever is given.
Yeah, this is the way it is. Yeah, now what is your question?
My question is that in that second line, this is the second line is there.
Yeah.
In that way, if you give it single also, it will be considered as a.
Oh, are
It
you
will get
saying
out of.
this?
Yeah. If
Yeah,
single, if you give.
this will come as the with the apostrophe. See? You see the output?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, anything that is inside this. So you have to understand. That's why I said it's also with the comment also. Anything which is inside these, right, it will be printed as it is. You write junk also here, it doesn't matter. Junk, whatever you want to write, it will be printed as it is. Even special characters, dollar, hash, see, everything would be printed as such. Let me clear this up. See,
Yeah,
it
okay,
is
got it.
printing everything as such. Whatever you
Yeah.
give, your name, it's up to you, whatever you want to give. It will print you as long as you have it enclosed under this three things. You want to give, even you can give double quotes also here. It will take double quotes also. It will just blindly print. It won't even look at it.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
good
it.
one. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna just leave it just so you guys can understand this prints everything. Okay. So what was I gonna say? Anyways, so I have a question for you guys now. I am saying x equal to 45. Do you think this is considered as a number or this is considered as a string? Or can a number be considered as a string is the question.
By default, it is means it will consider as a number.
Yes,
Means
but
as
can that be considered as a string?
yeah, if we attach it to any string, it will consider it as a string. Means
Okay,
like if
so
we
how
have
can
y
we do
equal
that?
to, and we can do like y plus x, or in that case.
If we do y is equal to y plus x, that will error out
No,
because
no,
y
means
doesn't have value.
y equal to abc, we can if we assign a string y equal to in single quote abc,
Okay.
and if we say like z equal to y plus x, then means I am just guessing that
No, no, that's fine. I like
y
it.
plus x, yeah,
So you think now we
y plus x
do
if we,
print z, it should give us a string. Let's see. Even I don't know. Let's see
It
what
is the
happens.
imaginary part.
We'll see. Let it run.
Imaginary part, it will not take it. Sorry.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. There you go. See, that is why I wanted to run it and did not answer it. Tushar, trust me,
yeah,
what you brought up, I wanted to bring it up too. So this is another beauty of Python. Look at it. It gives you the error, but the error also tells you everything about it. So the
yeah,
what it says, unsupported operand type plus for int and string. So it automatically finds out that x is an integer and y is a string. And what you're trying to do instead is you're trying to add an integer and a string, and that is not allowed. So now you know, it even gives you line 40 that somewhere the problem is here.
yeah.
So now you know. So by practice also you can learn half of Python. You would know that this is not supported. So again, but that was good thinking, Tushar. Now again, I'm going back to my question. Do you think this can be considered in any way a string? Think about it. What did I say was the definition of string? Okay, now it
Characters will
makes
get.
sense.
So characters,
Yes, but I said it's a sequence of characters. Remember, that's what I even mentioned here.
yes,
The
yes,
part of string.
yeah, sequence of characters.
So here, if you think 4 is a could also be considered a character, right? And 5 can also be
Yes,
considered a character. So it's a sequence. But why is it still being considered as a number?
it's not included in single string.
Exactly. That is the answer, my friend. So if you put it this, now tell me what will X be?
So
Will it
be
still be a
string,
number?
string character.
Exactly. It will be a string. That is what I wanted to tell. See, it is saying class str, which is string. And now even your print works. Forget the output, what it is. You get confused what it is. We'll talk about it later. But this is the idea that I wanted to run by, that anything that is under the quotes is considered a string, whether it looks like a number also. Although it doesn't make much sense, look at the output, what it is looking at. But this is another interview question. So you might want to take a note of it or something, that you can have number as well considered as a string when it is defined within single quotes or even double quotes, because it's a sequence anyways. So let me get rid of all this. Now, what was I going to tell? So I already told you about the class string. So let's take another string. So one more important note, guys, you cannot define a variable starting with string because that is a keyword in Python. So you always have to give one or something. And as a general good coding practice, I would not be following it because it's lengthy, but I'm telling you guys, you have to. So the naming convention of variables goes like this. Generally, the first letter is small, and then you have the first word and a second word starting with a caps letter. It is just a convention. You can use your own. Some people like to do this, put an underscore as well, and do it like this, but I prefer it this way when I'm actually doing the work. But in this class, because I have to save some time, I will just be going things like this. But one thing I wanted to show was you cannot use the word string. It will give you an error. So give string1 equal to, let me give something like this, $10. So what do you think? This will work or not? If I give print string1, will it give an error or will it give an output?
This work.
This will work.
It will work.
Okay, it does. Perfect. So the reason it worked is even though it's different characters, because it was under the quotes and everything, like I showed you here, under the quotes, whether it's under triple line or single quote, it doesn't worry about it, and it automatically prints everything. Now, yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Srinath.
yeah. They mentioned that string one like this. Right? Means any specific reason for that? Means
So if you want to use this value, you have to store it in a variable, right? Just like integer, x equal to when we gave 4. So 4, just consider 4 as this thing and x as string1 because I want to print it later or I want to use it later. So I have to assign it to a variable, right? And I just chose the name of string1. You can even give Srinam here. Doesn't matter. It has to be a variable. See, it will still work. See, it did not print Sriram. It printed the value of it. But if I wanted to print Sriram, what will I do? Any clue? And Tushar, don't answer. I know you know the answer. I
So
want
I have
others
to
to give a
write
chance.
x equal Sriram.
Sorry, Nikhil, you weren't clear.
So what are your questions? So what if you
So
want to?
so right now, if you see, you guys are able to see the screen, right? I am printing Shriram and I'm getting the value. But let's say I just wanted to print Shriram itself. What change
So
will I
you have
do?
to write down on the Sriram x equals Sriram. Then
Okay, you're saying this, right? And then print X.
print x.
Yeah, this is another way. But if I didn't wanted to do it here, can I change something very quickly?
we can give it as a print of string.
Yes, that's the right answer. But how do you do that? Tell me the change that I have to do. You're right. So just print using this. And now see. Now it is printing Sriram. See, that is a difference. Anything, remember, under quotes is not tackled with it. Whatever it is, it'll just do the way it is. But if you remove the quotes, then what the interpreter would do, it will think, okay, this is a variable. Let me see what is the value in the variable. Then it will print the value in the variable. Simple as that. Similarly, there's another way. It's stupid, but I'm just, because now we're talking about it, let's see what happens now.
This will be printed Sriram.
Again, but is it printing from here or is it printing from here?
This one.
Yes, because this is the value of Sriram. So what if I do Ankit now? What will be printed, Sriram or Ankit?
Ankit.
That's correct. See that? Because your value is getting printed. But again, if I do this, what will be printed? Where it go? What will be printed now? Sriram or Ankit?
No, should be Sriram.
Ankit.
No, now it will be Sriram. Remember, quotes have come.
This is the coding.
So now it is not going for the variable. Now it is going for the value itself. It's just like printing Ankit also. Whatever you want to print.
This also print Ankit.
Yes. So if I print Sriram 1, it will print Sriram 1 because anything under quotes is not changed. It just prints like that. But if I do this now, and Nikhil, I don't want you or Tushar to answer. I know you guys know the answer. Oh, I already did. Anyway, sorry. So this will be an error. Can anybody tell me why is this an error now? Other than Nikhil and Tushar.
Because we are not mentioned that Sriram 1.
Yes, so Sriram1 is an undefined variable. That's why it says name Sriram1 is not defined. There is no variable with the name Sriram1. Perfect. So now you guys are getting it. So you got your answer, Sriram? Why are you string 1? Sorry. This was the original one, right? String 1. All right, so string 1 is printing Ankit now, and you can also change any value to it and it will print that. All right, any other question, guys, before we move ahead on this one? Or was this clear? This is very important. All questions were really great, trust me.
Good right now.
Yes, clear. Okay, that's good. Now I'll show you another one good thing about VS Code is using all this unnecessary output, right? We have already gone through it. It is coming because all of this is in the file. But look at the beauty now. So I don't want to, so I'm here, right? I want to comment out all of this so that it doesn't run. So select all, go to edit, toggle block command. It will all go under comment. Now see the output. It will just show you the latest one. I don't know today why my system is a little slow. Maybe I'm running a lot more stuff. Yeah, see? Because all of this went under comment. If you want to uncomment it, same thing. Highlight everything, go back, toggle, block comment. It is unblocked. So that's why I like, that's another thing why I like VS Code. It's very easy and you can do a lot more stuff. All right, so far so good. I think I want to talk about indices, but maybe we'll have to do it tomorrow. Let me tell you one more thing before we call it a day. So, so far everything we learned was direct assignment and things like this. What will happen if I had a variable called mobile number, for example, and I save it as like this? It's a 10-digit number, right? This is a very valid format. It is with spaces. Now, if I were to print mobile underscore number, what will be the output? Can anybody tell me that?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's one answer. Any other person wants to take an answer?
The 10-digit number.
Sorry, till which digit number?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Mobile
So you're
number.
saying the whole, right? Okay. So
Ankit,
Tushar
1, 2,
says,
3.
okay, so Tushar and Shriram are saying 1, 2, 3, and Nikhil is saying the whole. Anybody else wants to take a
Mobile number.
guess? All of other guys are silent. How about you guys, Ravi, Sri?
The mobile number is the variable, right? And the value is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
That is correct. So the question is, what will be printed in this statement?
So if I want to print the variable, there's what's the value of the variable, it will be printed, right?
That is correct. But that's the question, right? So Tushar is saying only 1, 2, 3 would be printed. You are saying the whole 10-digit would be printed. I want to hear from others. What do they think?
Or actually it will give error like
That's interesting. Who said it will
Mobile
give an
number.
error?
Mobile number.
Okay, so Ravi is saying mobile number would be printed. That's interesting too. Somebody said error. Who was that person?
this is Tushar.
Oh, Tushar said error. I thought you said 1, 2, 3 first.
Yeah, I
You want to
agree.
change now?
No, I
No,
said
it's
1,
good.
2, 3.
So if you put
But later I clicked that one.
that
See,
should be
that's
a
why I want you guys to participate. I want to make this an interesting class. Otherwise, you can go to Udemy, buy it for $10 and learn it yourself, right? But Udemy won't tell you all these things. So make it more fun and learning for all of us. So that all, guys, all of you are thinking in the right direction. That is the best part. Answers may or may not be right, but at least your thinking is in the right direction. If your thinking is in the right direction, you can conquer anything. Forget about programming. So let's see now what happens. Or anybody has any more suggestion? Whatever we have on the table other than that. So we have error, we have 1, 2, 3, we have the whole number, and we have mobile number as being printed as mobile number. Any
Might be
other?
7890.
Use
That's interesting.
error. You get an
7890.
error.
Okay, Avinash is also saying error. So 2 for errors and 1 for 7890 and 1 for the whole
Well,
number
you
and
have
1 for
to
just mobile
basically
number.
you have to enter this integer value in the quoted, double quoted. So then only it will retrieve the entire number. Otherwise, because you have a space, right? Anything you have
Okay.
mentioned with space, it will not retrieve. It will throw it.
So let's do that a little later. So you're basically saying this. I want to table that too. That's actually a good, interesting thing. This is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Was it Avinash who was saying?
So now it will reflect the entire number, whatever you have
Yes.
entered, right?
Okay, that's good. Let me just comment this for a bit, but I wanted it to be here. So let's come back to this. So okay, so far, let's see who's winning. Let's run it. All right. So whoever said error, that is the correct answer. Now, who said 1, 2, 3? Who was that initially? Tushar, right?
Yeah.
I think that was a good idea. Trust me, when I first did it, I said the same thing. When I was talking to myself, I was like, what happens to mobile number? I was like, it should just take 1, 2, 3. And that's a good thinking because we think after space, it will ignore it. But that is the whole idea, that it doesn't consider space, or like I was saying a little while back, a sequence of characters. This is actually a sequence of characters if you see, or sequence of numbers. But a single variable, so just consider mobile number as X only here. So a single variable of an integer type can only have one value. It cannot have comma separated or space separated values. So that's why it is erroring out. So if you, the way to fix this is either you do this and it will print you 1, 2, 3, or you remove the space and then the whole thing is print. But, and I'm coming to this, Avinash. Whoever said that, Avinash, right? That was the best answer actually. But if I still wanted to print it like this, there was only one way to do it, and that is this. And I really like this answer. Either you know it, Avinash, or I mean, your thinking is great. Because I couldn't answer it when I read about it first time. What happened? Oh, yeah, it's editing out here. See, that is another thing with the interpreter-based language. It didn't even come here because it errored out here itself. So let's toggle it and let's run it again. See that, guys? It is coming as along with the space. So Avinash, your answer was right. And that is what we wanted to do.
Ankit,
Yeah.
is it
Yes,
we
yeah.
are taking, yeah, is it we are taking as print mobile number one as a one, so that only we're getting, or else it
No.
take,
Okay,
take
I was just giving you another variable. You can, this is a variable name, Sriram. Like I showed you, right? You can even change it to
yes,
Sriram.
yes,
Doesn't
yes.
matter. Yeah. Let me do it. You might feel nice.
No,
No. It's okay. It's a good question. Keep asking 10 times. Doesn't matter. See. So remember, anything on the left-hand side of equal to is just a variable name. It can be anything except for things like this string, or int, or stuff like, or even Python. So these are all keywords to Python. So Python will get confused whether you're calling Python here, why are you calling Python here? But you can always have it as Python 1 or Python 2 or whatever you want to do it. So remember, anything on the left hand side of equal to is the name of the variable that you choose to give. In real time, when you're actually going out and coding, you don't want to give Sriram equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Because if somebody is reading your code, do you think this makes sense? Sriram equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? No, right? It works, but it doesn't make much sense. So give it a meaningful number, a meaningful name. So that's why I give mobile number, because that gives you a bit of a meaningful name. And that is also under the best coding practices.
mean
Does it
that
make sense now? Yeah.
I mean that in double quotes inside spacing, those are all not be considered. It whatever they're giving, it will be get it as output, right?
Exactly, because remember we were doing this here, like for example here, even here also I showed you, right? If
Yes,
there
yes.
was space or anything. And I think that's what, I don't know if Avinash knew it already, or maybe he picked it up. So this is the way that, yeah.
So actually, when I put the double quote, whatever I write down inside the double quote, it will be printed as a string, right?
Exactly. Even single quotes, same thing.
Yeah.
Unless there's a single quote within a single quote, that won't work. Remember I was showing you earlier here, like this one. This won't work with single quotes. So then you definitely need double quotes. But anything inside the quote is none of Python's business. It will just use it as such. It will just print it as such.
Okay.
Even you can use the triple quote here. It doesn't make sense, but Syntax wise, it's correct. It will work. Remember, this was for multi-line comment or multi-line string, but that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it is still a string. So what you can do is you can print it like this. If you wanted to print it like this, then you need triple line. See, it will print in triple line. So it depends on your requirement, what you want to do. Python is giving you all these choices. It all depends on your requirement, what you want to do, how you want to print it. Yeah, go ahead, Ravi.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
actually,
don't
so
worry.
okay,
Ask the
earlier
question.
we have discussed this one, right? So when we are getting any space, then no, actually, when when you are getting space, that is the reason it is not printing the mobile number. Because earlier we were telling example, right? If you put a
Yes,
quotes means it will directly give the right side value, okay, in the print
exactly.
statement. If you
So
don't
here,
give quotes, now it is because of the space. So now what happened, right? My doubt is that after
yeah.
1 to 3, if we put what you say and symbol, and means I'm taking string concatenation, okay. No, the same concept. We am going in a different thing actually, but just I'm thinking in this way.
Right.
Suppose if you give after 1 to 3, you
Mhm.
use concatenation like slash slash and 456 and
You
print.
saying
Now it
this?
will print mobile number. It will print the what you say the value.
So are
Yeah,
you saying
no,
this?
what is the concatenation in Python? I don't know whether it is there or not. I don't know, but just I'm
No, it
asking.
is there, but what you so in concatenation it's
Concatenation
simple
generally
plus.
is used in concatenation slash only.
No. In Python it's just plus, but this also won't work. So
Plus,
it's a good
plus.
question, but let's see.
String concatenation, I'm telling strings.
Yes, so you actually
Okay.
answered your own question. That's why I wanted to show you. So when you do, so in Python, plus is not just the assignment operator, it also concatenates also. But the concatenation, like you just answered yourself, that's why I was giving it like this. You got the
Okay.
sum, right? Not the addition. But if you want to concatenate only works with strings. So what you can do is this,
Okay.
this,
Okay. Slash means it will be okay.
no. So basically, this is nothing but you're concatenating three
Okay.
strings and storing into this. That is the whole idea. But this is completely a different concept. But I wanted to answer your question, so I
Yeah.
just so that. But if you
Okay.
wanted to print with spaces, so this is the way, like Avinash said. Got it? But concatenation is a good idea. That is also we'll talk about it maybe in few classes, maybe tomorrow only. All right. So you guys got the idea, right? What was here? All right, cool. So let's talk about, oh, it's already one. Okay, what I had for today. We finished strings, we finished types, we finished this. Okay, that's good too. Okay, let me just take another 5 minutes and then maybe we'll class it. So a very important concept in strings is called indices. And guys, you have to really be very careful with this, and you don't want to miss tomorrow's class because this is the basics of Python. Like the whole, if you understand indices, you understand 70 to 80% of other advanced concept. Indices, strings works on indices, lists works on indices, tuple works on indices, going forward classes, object-oriented programming, everything works on indices. So tomorrow's whole class, I will just be talking about indexes. It is very important. It looks easy, but it gets complicated as we go ahead. So today I'm just going to give you a brief of it. So let's say my string one was, this is a variable, right? It was Ankit. Now I want to show you how it is saved inside the memory, inside the computer memory. Now I'm not going into very detail like somebody asked about binary and stuff, because that will take another 1 hour. But I want to show you something. How is it saved in the, you guys are able to see this drawing that I'm making, right? Yes. Okay, perfect. AMKIT. All right. So imagine this is how, so in obviously in real world it's not like this, but I'm just trying to explain it. Imagine this is your computer memory. Okay, now your string one is str, oh my god, this So it's not easy. ING and one. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't string one. So sorry. How do I remove it? The value is stored, not the variable. ANKIT. All right. So now this is how your string one variable is stored in memory. This is a piece of memory. Now, in just for in almost all languages, I haven't in fact come of any other language, the memory block always starts with 0. So this is your 0 location, this is your 1, this is your 2, this is your 3, and this is your 4. This is how your memory is assigned. So remember, like I said, string is nothing but a sequence of characters, right? So ANKIT, all are sequence of characters. So first character A is stored in 0, second character N is stored in first location, K is stored in second, I in 3, T in 4. That is how it is stored. And this whole block is assigned to string 1. So if you were to do print string 1, like if you were to print string 1, what will be the output? Quickly, guys.
The whole one is Ankit?
Yes, so that is Ankit would be the output.
Yes.
Correct. So as you see, Ankit is the output. Let me just block this also. We're already done with this. All right. Now, let's say your requirement was just to print A and not the whole Ankit. Does anybody know how you can print it?
String 1 and 0.
Yeah, one.
Okay. So for
Index.
those,
String
yeah,
of one.
string of 1 will be this, right? So that's N.
Yeah, so you have to print 0.
String 1.
Correct. So you have to give. So this is all is assigned to string 1, right? So what if you
There is
do?
space.
What is
The
that?
first there is space. I think it will take memory.
What is it? You're not very clear, Vijay.
After assignment operator, I think there is space.
Oh, this one? No, this won't work. So what you're saying would have been this if it was within the code.
No. Before.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. See, when I printed, it wasn't with the space, right? What you're saying, the first would be space if it was like this. So anything, you can give space here also. It doesn't matter. This is just for readability. But anything within the code is saved just like this. If it was a space here or here or here, then it would have considered space. But this space here, sorry, this space or this space is not considered. It's not saved anywhere.
Yeah. Thanks.
Got it? But good question, good catch. I didn't look at it. So this is basically for readability. You know, it looks a little more beautiful, but otherwise you can always do like this. So it doesn't matter. So it's up to you. I generally like to put space everywhere like this. It becomes more readable. All right. So yes, somebody was saying the answer was print of string 1 and then 0. You said, right?
Yeah, so you have to put 0 bracket.
It's in square bracket.
Square bracket.
Tushar, you seem to know this, right? I don't want you to give the answer then.
Okay.
All right. So this is a very important concept. So indexes always are defined using this bracket and a number there. So I'm saying n here. So you have to give the number which can be, and n can be between 0 to length of the string minus 1. What it means is, I'll tell you in a minute. So I'm going to put this under the, oh, what happened? So this is a comment. So this is the way you tell what an index is. Okay. Always, guys, remember, this is syntax. You want to learn it by heart or whatever you want to do. I cannot change it. I cannot answer why is it like this. This is how the developer of Python thought that would be the best. In fact, all of the languages, it is like this only. So make sure you put the indexes always in the square bracket, and there's a value to it. So n can be between 0 to length of string minus 1, because see how I told you this was stored. A starts from 0 and T starts from 4. But if you count A, N, K, I, T, they have 5 letters or 5 characters. But see, it is starting from 0, so it ends at 5 minus 1, 4. That is what it says here. So length of the string is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, but it is going from 0 to 4. This is very important concept, guys. If you mess this up, you won't understand anything. And I know Tushar and Nikhil and few guys know it, but for everybody who's silent, you have to understand this. If you're not understanding this, stop me right here. Did anybody not understand this part?
So when you want to print the number 1, that time you have to put 0 index.
Correct.
Then
So if you want to print the first character, you have to go with 0 index. If you want to print the second, you have to go basically minus 1. So for so for all the people who are new to this, right, what I would recommend is pick up a pen and paper. Always make this kind of always make this kind of a diagram. It really helps. Initially, it will really help you a lot. Once you get used to it, you will be making good progress. So hold on, Nikhil. I know you have a question. Let me come back to it. Let me just finish this. So if I did print string 1 of 0, what it will print? It should print A, because my 0th location has the value A. Let's see. See? So it is printing Ankit from here. Let me comment it out. Let me clear this up. See, it only printed A because I asked it to print the first location. Now, other than Tushar, Nikhil, and others who know, I want somebody else to answer. There's so many people who are silent. What will be the output of this? Can somebody tell me? Other than Tushar, Nikhil, and whoever knows really
Ankit.
well. Yeah.
Ankit,
Go ahead,
it
Sri.
will get it full name. A Ankit.
Okay, so you're saying it will print full Ankit. Okay, that's a good one. Anybody else? Guys, I want you to participate. Adarsh.
It will print T.
Who said so? Others said print T.
T.
Okay.
T.
Anybody else?
T.
Another T.
T.
Okay.
T. Yeah, Ravi also.
Okay. How about others who are silent?
I'm sorry, Ankit. It's a T only, because if we are mentioning that
Hey,
particular.
it's okay, Sriram. It's okay. Let's
No,
see.
no,
We'll run it.
I got it. I got it, the idea, because previous.
Okay, you want to change it to T? That's fine. Okay.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
How about you guys? Namrata, Adam, Vijay.
It's T.
Okay. Namrata says it's T. Anybody else?
Yeah, it's T.
Okay. Perfect. Adam also says T. Perfect. So T is the right answer. Simple logic. Like 0 will print A, so number 4 will print T. All right, that's good. So I want all of you guys to please interact. When you know the answer, why don't you tell it? Don't be shy. This is not I'm not your boss or anything, right? I'm not going to feel bad if you're going to say the wrong answer. So please speak up. So now, all the minds, Tushar, Nikhil, everybody, what will be the answer now? Can anybody guess?
Ankit.
Yes,
this will be not right now.
Full letter
Because
word.
of the total index is 4. So out of index, that will be not right now.
So I don't know the answer. Let me put it here. So you are saying out of index. That's Nikhil, right? Nikhil Mandal. Yeah. What other answers I have? I want to hear from everybody quickly, guys. I'm running out of time.
Yeah, is it like that?
Yeah, same. Yeah, same answer.
Tushar is saying
Same answer. Same answer.
Anybody else doesn't agree with this
Same
answer?
answer.
Okay. Anybody who doesn't agree with this answer? I don't agree with this answer, by the way. Anybody else? Okay, so it seems all of you.
Oh,
guys
it will.
agree
It will take any binary, like binary value. I'm thinking.
binary value. Okay, that's a good idea.
Binary means some value it will take.
Okay, that was who? Ravi, right? Yeah, that's a good thought. I actually like this thought. I'm personally going with this thought, but let's see what others have to say.
It should go. It should take a null value.
So others says null value. Nice. Now we're talking. Okay. Anybody else has anything else? Come on, guys. I only have 2 minutes. We're already
No,
15 minutes past.
yeah, the string is defined only 4, right? So it will not, it will throw an error, I think, because it is defined
Avinash
string
is
value.
an error. Okay. That's a good idea. But yeah, out of index, what Nikhil said is also an error. So almost the same thing. But let's keep, maybe it's a different error, not out of index. Anybody else? Last time I'm asking. Then I'll give you the answer. Okay. Nobody wants to. Error only. Adam says error. Tushar already answered. Namrata answered. Vijay. Okay, so I guess everybody answered. Okay, cool. So let's run it. Let's see. I mean, I know the answer, but I don't want to give it right away. So the answer is error is correct. Whoever said error and whoever said out of index is correct. Basically, like I think Nikhil was saying, right? You don't have the fifth location. So what it says is, so error, sorry, Avinash, error is a very generic term, right? That's more like C and C++. They don't give you the exact error, but that's another beauty of Python. It actually tells you a lot about the error. And we'll talk about this later also, how and where it picks up from, but that's too early for now. But it also tells you the line number as well, that, hey, your line number 56 has an error, which is right here. And what is the error? String index out of range. It's pretty close to what Nikhil said, out of index, which basically both of them mean the same thing. I think it's Java language, out of index. But what it means is, so I'm guessing now everybody understood it, but I'm just saying, just doing it for the name of it. Let's say this was the fifth location, but was there any value here? No, right? Because my whole string finished at the value of 4. So that's why string index out of range, whenever you see that error, keep this in your mind, guys. That's why I give this example. That means you are going way beyond, one beyond or way beyond the original index of the string. So always make sure whenever you see out of index range, that means you're going out of the defined variables range. So the best practice is that you always, whenever you're working with strings, this is a very genuine mistake. See, ANKIT, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's very easy to go for string 1 of 5, and you may think it will print T, but it doesn't work that way. So the best practice is, and there's a new function called len, which tells you the length of the string. So always get the length of the string. So length of string 1. And let's do a print, or you can even assign it to a variable. It's a numeric variable, right? Because it's going to only say, is it 4 or is it 5? Oh, it's still going here. See, it tells you length is 5. So always make sure whenever you are working with strings, you first keep this in mind. You put it in a variable, you print it and keep it in your string, and make sure you always run it from, so if it was n is equal to len of string 1, then your strings would always be between 0 to n minus 1. This is a concept we almost always forget in indexes. Trust me, it is looking right now, Ankit is saying this again and again, but you're going to forget it. Trust me. So remember this. Indexes always run between 0 to n minus 1. N is nothing but the length of the string, and the best way to calculate the length of the string is len. All right, guys, was it clear? Any questions?
Ankit,
Yeah, Nikhil.
if I want to print -1, what would be answer? This would become T.
There is no -1 in Ankit. Sorry, what are you talking about? Oh, you're saying if you change the indices to -1? We'll talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I don't want to confuse people today.
Yeah, Ankit, one thing.
Yeah, Tushar.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ankit, you told that there are 4 ways to define string. One was using single quote. Second was
I was waiting. Somebody should ask me. So you are paying attention. Good. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but remind me tomorrow, please. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it right now. But good. I like that somebody is paying attention.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. All right, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow then. Yeah,
Ankit?
bye-bye. Yeah, Sriram.
You're saying that square bracket we can call it as an index, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we can also call it as a list, right?
Okay, let's not confuse with list. We'll talk about list tomorrow. Maybe day after. Once we go to that thing, then we'll talk about it. See, you're getting confused because you have some knowledge. Let's go by basics first. Let's clear the basics. We will be talking. List is a very important concept, by the way, Sriram. We'll talk a whole day for it. So let's wait for it. Today, just concentrate on indexes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Yeah, no problem. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.